Hello, Mistweavers! Today I'm going to go over how to heal the hardest bosses of the season at the highest key level. Note that I run the same build in every dungeon, which you can find on jadefireteachings.com, and the only thing I swap is hero talents. Also remember that ramping is key to every boss fight I'm going to go over, so make sure to watch my ramp video guide if you haven't already on YouTube. First, we're going to go over Speaker Shadowcrown, the first boss of Dawnbreaker. She got Giga buffed this season, and she is a menace. I highly recommend playing Master of Harmony here because Tiger Palm is very useful for the absorbs, and this is the perfect opportunity to practice your ramping. You want to watch the Burning Shadows cast, and when it's about 5 seconds away, we're going to begin our ramp. Here it comes. We cast Chi-Ji first, and then we do 2 or 3 Enveloping Mists, TFT Rising Sun Kick, Dispel, and then Blackout Kick with our Teachings procs, and that mostly clears it. And then Tiger Palm, Blackout Kick again. The next one is going to be a very, very scary overlap, so I highly recommend ramping into Revival for this one, and it will just instantly clear the debuffs. Revival, boom, it's all gone. Easy. We'll skip forward a bit. The third one, you won't have Chi-Ji or Revival, so I usually use Lumithars here, if you have it. So I get 3 Enveloping Mist ramp here, huge healing absorbs. And then we're gonna wait, Dispel, and then spam Tiger Palm. Tiger Palm, Tiger Palm, Tiger Palm, Tiger Palm. Don't want a Blackout Kick here since we're not in Chi-Ji, and then Lumithars at the last second, and we're fine. And you can repeat this for all the normal ones. Let's skip forward to the one after the intermission, because this is the scariest one of the fight. This is the one where you don't have Revival, you don't have Lumithars, you don't have Chi-Ji, so you're really low. I highly recommend telling your team, this is really scary, make sure to use defenses on this one. Get a biggest ramp as possible. And then send things like Revival, Diffuse, Fort Brew. I used Fort Brew here, my hunter used Ball. And then we're okay. Next up is Anub'ikkaj, the second boss of Dawnbreaker, another menace with terrifying overlaps. You'll need to heal the group between the Dark Orb and the Shadowy Decay explosion, which means you need to be ramped for both, which isn't easy, but we'll have to do it anyway. So you can see I've already ramped here, and we're going to Tiger Palm our group back up. I like to use Chi-Ji between the Orb and the Shadow Decay, so it's active during the Decay. And then try to get at least 1 Enveloping Mist between the Orb and the Decay. And then Blackout Kick, Tiger Palm, Tiger Palm, Tiger Palm. Here, I was very scared. I was only at 30% and I didn't use any defensives here, and so I revivaled between this and the last tick. I probably should have just used Lumithar instead. Those are your 2 best emergency buttons. Note that the damage of Shadowy Decay ramps as it goes on, and so the last tick is going to hit very hard, and you want your group to be quite healthy for it. And so Lumi and Revival are very, very good on those last 2 ticks. I also didn't have Cocoon for myself. I kind of panicked. It's fine. It's a good use of Revival. It might come up later in the fight. And then you just repeat this for every orb. So ads come out here. He's going to cast another orb. Usually I start ramping once the orb finishes casting. So here I should start. Enveloping Mist, second Enveloping Mist, and then I TFT, Rising Sun Kick, Tiger Palm my group back up. And then get a third Enveloping Mist out, so I'm re-ramped again. So you can see I have 3 Enveloping Mists. My group is blanketed in Mending Proliferations. I have a couple Chi Harmonies. I'm going to Fort Brew this time. I recommend using Fort Brew on cooldown. I should use on the first one. Then Tiger Palm, Tiger Palm, Tiger Palm, Tiger Palm, Tiger Palm, and then Lumi at the very end. We're extremely healthy this time. Easy peasy. Every third orb overlaps with the Decay. This is where your entire group must use big personals, and you should always use Diffuse Magic here. By the way, this orb is on its own, the third orb. It's the 4th orb that overlaps with the Decay. So there you don't really need to use any cooldowns. So this orb here is going to perfectly overlap with Decay. If you notice your team doesn't have defenses by looking at Omnicity, rip Omnicity and Midnight, by the way, then you should use Life Cocoon, Lumi, Revival, big emergency buttons. So here we have big defensives. I'm just using Chi-Ji, and we were so healthy I was able to just Jade Empowerment through it as well. And the fight repeats. Do note, I want to show you one more thing. This 5th Shadowy Decay comes out when there are ads, which is quite nice. So here he's not going to orb, he's going to decay. And this makes Jade Empowerment quite powerful here. Except I'm not doing it. Oh, well, usually using Jade Empowerment is very strong here because you have a lot of ads to cleave off. Yep, that's the fight. Next, we'll swap over to Floodgate. Again, I highly recommend playing Master of Harmony here because of the single target healing checks. This fight's difficulty changes a lot based on how quickly your DPS kills the mecha drones. It's important for you to watch the nameplates of the mecha drones to see when they're going to phase, as well as the timer on the Kilobrock barrier. My biggest tip here is, regardless of when the mecha drones are dying, always send Chi-Chi when the barrier goes out, or if you phase before you even hit the barrier. So here, the mecha drones are pretty close to dead, so we shouldn't spend too long in it. She starts casting the Kiloblock barrier, and so I immediately cast Chi-Chi. And since Chi-Chi generates all these enveloping mists for me, it means that as soon as we phase, we're going to be quite ramped already. And now I can just Tiger Palm, Tiger Palm, Tiger Palm, Tiger Palm. Make sure to use a very defensive on every single jumpstart. You can rotate, diffuse, and Horde Brew the entire fight. And jumpstart lasts quite a long time, so keep in mind that your ramp will generally fade near the end. You can see my hots are mostly gone. This is a good time to use Loomies or Revival to make sure that your team lives the last tick. There are other situations where, I'll swap, this is the same fight, but the third phase. You're going to spend longer in the Kilobrock barrier. This is where it gets a little more dicey. Try to be watching that still. Skip forward 10 seconds here. So here we're going to go into the barrier, but this Mecha Drone, it's kind of hard to see the nameplates, but still has like 30% health. Yeah, 31% health here. So you still want to pop Chi-Chi as soon as the barrier goes out. We pop Chi-Chi here. And then we just heal through the barrier, which ramps us for the jumpstart. And then when this happens, this is a bit harder because my Chi-Chi is now completely gone by the time we empty the jumpstart. So I'm going into jumpstart here, and I'm ramped at least, but I don't have any Chi-Chi. And so just keep in mind this is going to be a little bit harder. Make sure to rotate your defensives, as always, and use extra cooldowns like Cocoon, Revival, my Revival here, and then Tiger Palmas to victory. Finally, the boss you've all been waiting for, Swampface, the rot fight of the season. Your main goal is to have one enveloping oust out the entire fight so that you can be having healing amps on your group generating MDPs, and then to simply repeat your melee rotation during the rot so you can get as many Tiger Palms and Rising Sun Kicks as possible. If your group is coordinated enough, notice that we've pulled some divers with the group. This is extremely helpful during the Awaken the Swamp. As you can see, I use Jade Empowerment here to heal through this with ease. Ask your tank and make sure you have enough kicks to get each of the divers. So back to Rot. Again, I'm casting an Enveloping Mist to make sure I have one on my party, and then I'm extending it with TFT Rising Sun Kick. And then I simply repeat melee rotation. You can see I'm not doing anything other than melee rotation here to keep my group topped. You want to press Renewing Mist never. Literally never press Renewing Mist. And press Vivify sparingly, as little as possible, really just to top one player if they're much lower than the rest of your group. Otherwise, really just stick to get an Enveloping Mist out and repeat that melee rotation. For Awaken the Swamp, here you can see it's coming in 3 seconds. You should use Chi-Chi on cooldown, unless there's divers, and that's why I didn't use it the first time. And then simply do the Chi-Chi rotation. Make sure you have an Enveloping Mist out going into it. Tiger Palm, Blackout Kick. Use Life Cocoon also on cooldown. It'll be up for every 3rd Awaken the Swamp on your squishiest member. In this case, it's my Hunter. Outside of Chi-Chi, which we'll see at the next Awaken the Swamp right here. That was Vivify, by the way. So this is an example of where to use Vivify. You can see Ventress has 3 healing amps, which was pretty good, and he was significantly lower than the rest of the group, so Vivify is a pretty good global there. That said, as you can see, I have mismanaged my cooldowns, and going into this Awaken the Swamp, my Enveloping Mist on Squish is going to run out, and I will not have any healing amps going into it, which puts me at great peril. So I Shayloons here. I probably should have just Enveloping Mist first. And then I Crackling because I'm scared that we're not going to be topped. But then, of course, it means that we're not going to Enveloping Mist. And so I decide to Enveloping Mist here, which is probably a big mistake because Awaken the Swamp is already going off. And Nox and Banshees both have to health pot, which is a mistake. I do Lumithars, so probably Banshees would have been fine. But you really want to make sure you have one Enveloping Mist out at all time. Let's watch one more. I have my Enveloping Mist out, which was great. And Awakening the Swamp is coming out, and we have Chi-Ji. So we're going to pop our Chi-Ji here. We get more divers, which is great. Pop out Enveloping Mist before going in and extend it, so we have a nice long one. And then we just Lightning because we have our funnel. And then Blackout Kick. That's a nice and easy one. Skip forward a couple. So then here in the next one in 10 seconds, we are not going to have Chi-Ji. We do have Revival. I do recommend using your cooldowns, your defensive cooldowns on Awaken the Swamp. I don't do this enough. I do have Cocoon backup, so I send it proactively, and I have Enveloping Mist out, so I'm just Lightning on the divers again, and then Tiger Palm. Let's watch one more. We're not going to have divers this time, but we will have Chi-Ji again. These divers are going to die before, I think. So I get an Enveloping Mist out before, I extend it, and then I Chi-Ji to heal through it. And we have lots of healing apps out because I made sure to have Enveloping Mist out. And I had Lumi and Revival there available as a backup. So yeah, it's a very, very hard fight, but you don't need to use most of your kit. Just stick to the fundamentals of keeping that Enveloping Mist out and using your melee rotation as Master of Harmony. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed. If your favorite boss was not featured, then make sure to check out my website, jadefireteachings.com. There are dungeon guides. I cover every single boss and many of the hard trash packs in written form content. For my next video, I'm planning on doing a commentary run. So let me know which dungeon you'd like me to go over, and I'm going to go over the entire dungeon from start to finish. Good luck out there, Mistweavers.